All right, here we are at Buckshot and Dave Lando. We're at the beginning. Welcome to my 1986 replay using Digital Diamond to record the stats and playing it with payoff pitch baseball, well, at least the World Series anyway, and the playoffs. So the World Series has been decided. I mean, the teams competing in the World Series has been decided. The ALCS, the Toronto Blue Jays defeated the California Angels and 4-2, and in the NL, the NLCS, the New York Mets defeated the Houston Astros in 7 games. Oh, I'm sorry, it's the other way around. The Mets beat the Astros in 6 games, 4-2. The Blue Jays defeated the Angels in 7 games, 4-3, to face each other in the World Series in 1986. And Toronto Blue Jays are trying to become the first Canadian team to win the World Series championship. So we'll see what happens here. Exhibition Stadium is going to host. It's not tonight, but its first World Series game will be hosted at Exhibition Stadium. So I do have a link in the chat if anybody wants to join in. I'm going to set up the lineups here. This is not the lineups I'm using, but it's going to be Jim Clancy starting for the Toronto Blue Jays against Ron Darling in the Mets. And let's see, the lineups are going to be for the visiting Blue Jays. We got Lloyd Mosby's going to lead it off. I'm going to have to do these as I go, so just bear with me. Tony Fernandez batting second. George Bell, MVP of the ALCS, batting third. Jesse Barfield batting fourth. Willie Upshaw batting fifth. Who's going to actually? This is a little bit okay. Ernie Witt batting sixth. Rance Mulliniks will be batting seventh once I put him in there. And Damaso Garcia batting eighth. And Jim Clancy, the pitcher, will be batting ninth because of the National League rules. So, and for the New York Mets, the starting lineup is as follows. We have Lenny Dykstra batting first. Him up there. In center field, Wally Backman batting second. Playing second base. Keith Hernandez batting third, playing first. Gary Carter batting fourth, catching. Darryl Strawberry batting fifth. And we got Mookie Wilson playing left field, batting sixth. Ray Knight batting seventh. Rafael Santana at short. And Ron Darling on the hill for the Mets will be batting ninth. Let's go out to Shea Stadium. Home of the 86 World Series NL East champion Mets, and we are going to start it off. Lloyd Mosby facing Ron Darling, and the 86 World Series is underway. And we have a 6 and an 88. Ron Darling, a 6 is tough, and an 88 is going to be a ground ball the second. And Backman plays it to first for the out. Number 1. Tony Fernandez is up, batting .345 in the series, in the playoffs so far. And the pitch is a 12-70, wheelhouse 70. It's going to be too high. It's going to be a ground ball to second again. 2 quick outs. And George Bell has an excellent first series. He was batted .323 with 3 home runs. Here's the pitch. It's a 5 and a 58. 5 is in play. A 58 is too high. It's going to be a ground out to third. So that's a 1-2-3 inning for Ron Darling. And here comes Jim Clancy to start off the bottom of the first against Lenny Dykstra. And the pitch is a 9 and a 70. 9 is in play. 70 too high. Ground out to short. And we have Wally Backman. .333 in the playoffs. Here's the pitch. We have an 8 and a 73. 8 is in play. 73 is a ground ball to second. So we have a lot of high rolls here. And the bats haven't woken up yet. Here's Keith Hernandez. .368 average in the playoffs. 7 for 19. There's a 5 and a 48. 5 is tough. 48 is too high. It's going to be a line out to second. And that does it for the first inning. Top of the second, we have Barfield, Willie Upshaw, and Ernie Witt due up. Close this thing here. We have a 10 and a 36. 10 is in play. 36 too high. It's going to be a pop up to third base. One away is Upshaw. 222 in the series so far. We got a 4 and a 7. 4 is ballpark. 7 wheelhouse. Roll the percentile die. If it's a 1 to 13, it's a home run. And the roll, it's a 54, and that's going to be too high for. It's going to be a fly out to right. So Upshaw came close, but just couldn't handle the pitch. It was right down the middle for him. Here's Ernie Witt, 10 and a 22. 10 is in play, 22, and there's the first base hit of the World Series, Ernie Witt. So he's on first with 2 outs, and Rance Mulliniks comes to the plate. We got a 4 and an 85, ballpark, 85. 85 is an in-play result, so we have to roll for in-play, and here's the pitch. 86, that's high. That's going to be a ground ball to second. That's out number 3. So we got a hit, but nothing else. After 1.5, it is still 0-0, and here comes Gary Carter. Gary Carter, 6 and an 80. 6 is tough. 80 is high. Fly out to center. Darryl Strawberry. It's a 10 and a 56. Ballpark, 56. It's going to be too high for a wheelhouse. It's going to be an in-play. And here's the roll on the in-play. It's a 12, and that's going to be a single for Darryl Strawberry. Darryl Strawberry with a single, and he's on first with 1 out. And here's Mookie Wilson. Excellent first round, 364 average, 8 for 22. Here's the pitch. 7 and a 65, patient 65. That's going to be a ground ball through the middle for a single, and Strawberry's going to be he's going to head to third. Center fielder Lloyd Mosby is going to try to attempt to throw him out of third base. Strawberry's a 7 runner. Mosby's a 7 arm. If it's an 8 or greater, he's out. For the 2, it's a 10, and we have a single, and Darryl Strawberry thrown out at third base by Lloyd Mosby, trying to take the extra base. And there's now 2 outs, and Ray Knight is up. So that was so Lloyd Mosby came up with a seed to third baseman to throw out Strawberry, trying to take the extra base. Here comes Ray Knight with a 9 and a 59. 9 is in play. 59 is high. It's going to be a ground out to third. Throws it to first. Throws it to second for the force out. That does it for the inning. So they threatened the Mets, but they couldn't score. And it's now after 2. It's 0-0. Here comes Damaso Garcia to face Darling. Darling kicks and fires. It's a 7 and an 86. Tough 86 is going to be a ground out to short. 6-3 put out. And Jim Clancy making his first plate appearance of his season. I'm not sure about his career, but season at least. And here's the pitch from Darling. We have a 10 and an 8. 10 is in play, and 8, he gets a base hit. Jim Clancy gets a base hit, American League pitcher, first at bat. He's on base. It's pretty amazing. I guess they throw him a ball right down the middle, and he just whacked it into the right field. So here's the pitch. 12 and a 94. It's a wheelhouse. 94 is too high, though. It's going to be a fly ball to right. That's 2 outs for Mosby. And Tony Fernandez is up. The pitch. 2 and a 25. 2 was a defense check. The check on the card, it's an error check on the third baseman. We have Ray Knight is a 3 error rating. 3 is 1 to 56 for an error. And it's a 27. We have an E5. And let me check the card. So we have a single and an error. Oh, I'm sorry. No, it's just a single. It's a 1 base error. So it's an E5. So an error by Ray Knight makes Tony Fernandez is safe. Clancy goes to second with 2 outs, and his George Bell, who's been trouble for opposing pitchers in the playoffs and all season long, really. Regular season, 39 home runs, 158 RBIs. Just MVP candidate for the regular season. Here's the pitch. 7 and a 17. Tough 17. It's a strikeout. George Bell goes down on strikes. That does it for the top of the third. And here we go to the bottom of the third. Rafael Santana leads off against Clancy. 5 and a 33. 5 is tough. 33 is a single for Santana. So the bottom of the order getting it on there with both teams. Santana gets on, and here's Ron Darling, and he has a bunt rating of he's got a C bunter. He's going to try to move over Santana, and he does. It's a successful sacrifice to the pitcher. And Santana moves to second base, and that's going to be 1 out. And here's Lenny Dykstra, scoring position. We have a 6 and a 23. Tough and a 23 is a strikeout. So Clancy on top of his game here. And it brings up Wally Backman. 0 for 1 today with a ground out to second. 2 and an 11. 2 is wheelhouse with Clancy. Wally Backman with an 11. He's going to hit one down to the right field corner, and it's going to be a double. Rafael Santana is going to come around to score, and we have a 1-0 lead for the Mets. So Wally Backman with a double with 2 outs scores Santana, and the Mets are on the board. And here comes Keith Hernandez. 4 and a 2. 4 is tough. 2 is a strikeout. So Clancy comes back and strikes out Hernandez, but they do get a run. It's 1-0 after 3. And here comes Barfield. 12 and a 40. Wheelhouse and a 40. Jesse Barfield hits one high and deep, way back to right center field. It's going to be Dykstra's looking up, and it's going to be right in front of the scoreboard. It's gone over the wall, home run. Jesse Barfield ties the game just like that with a solo shot, and it's 1-1 now, and Willie Upshaw is up. 2 and a 54. Defense. Defensive check, and we got an error check on the second baseman this time, and we have Wally Backman, who's only a 1 rated defensive, so it's a 1-71 error chance, and it's an 84. He makes the play, grounds out to second base, but Backman was able to make that play on a tough hop, so it's 1 out. And here's Ernie Witt, face Darling. 3 and a 3. 3 is in play. A 3 is a double for Ernie Witt. So he's on second base with 1 out, and here's Vance Mullenix. Mullenix with an 8 and a 95. 8 is patient. 95 is going to be a fly out to right. It's going to stay at second. All righty. Next one is 10 and a 56 for Damaso Garcia. 10 is in play. 56 is high. It's a line out to short. That's going to do it for the inning. But they do get the tying run right away. The answer is Jesse Barfield's solo blast. It's 1-1 and go to the bottom of the 4th. And leading off is Gary Carter. Gary Carter gets a 7 and a 2. 7 is patient. 2 is a walk. So Clancy loses Carter and walks on first base. And here's Darryl Strawberry with some power potential. He's got a 9 and a 75. In play, 75 is high. It's going to be a fly out to center. Mookie Wilson. He is 1 for 1 with a single. And 6 and a 91. Oh, 6 and a 61. So tough 61. Ooh, just missed a base hit. Instead, it's a fly out to right. Barfield made a nice catch to save the hit, to save it from getting a hit. So here's Ray Knight. 0 for 1. He's got a 5 and a 3. Tough 3 is a strikeout. So Ray Knight goes down swinging. We go to the 5th, 1-1 game. And here's Jim Clancy, who was 1 for 1. He had a base hit in his first at bat of the season. The pitch to Clancy, 2 and a 16. Defensive check. We have an error check on the shortstop now. We've gone around the whole infield. Third base, second base, shortstop now. For Santana's a 4 error rating, and it's a 1-46 is an error. So we have a 55, and that's going to be a ground ball to shortstop, and he's going to make the play on Clancy. So that's 1 out. And here's Lloyd Mosby. 9 and a 93. 9 is tough. 93 is a fly out to right for Mosby. Tony Fernandez 0 for 2. Pitch to Tony. And 10 and a 43. In play, 43. It's too high. It's a pop up to third. That'll do it for the inning. And we go to the bottom of the fifth. Still 1-1. The Blue Jays, the last, I think it was the last game. It was pretty close until the 6th or 7th inning, and then the Blue Jays blew it open with like a 6th run or 7th run inning, and that did it. So here we go. Santana leading off. He's 1-for-1. 9 and a 62. 9 is in play. 62 is high. It's a fly out to right. And Ron Darling comes to the plate. He sacrificed the first time. 7 and a 41. Patient 41. It's going to be high. It's a ground out to third. Lenny Dykstra leading off, the leadoff hitter, but he's number 1 hitter, and his 9 and a 51. 9 is in play. 51 is high, so that's a ground ball to first. He flips to the pitcher covering, and is out number 3. You go to the 6th. 1 run, 4 hits apiece. George Bell, who's trouble. 3 doubles and 3 home runs in the playoffs so far, and he's got an 8 and a 21. 8 is patient. 21 is a walk. So they pitch around Bell, but then they have to get to Barfield, who already homered, lost at bat. He's got 3 in the playoffs himself. Here's the pitch to Barfield. You got a 6 and a 98. Tough 98. That's going to be a fly out to left. And brings up Willie Upshaw. 1 out, runner on first. 5 and a 35. In play, 35 is high. It's a pop-up back behind the plate. Gary Carter's there and has it for the out, number 2. And Ernie Witt, Gary Carter's counterpart. Hey, MV. Thanks for joining. Appreciate it. We got World Series game number 1 here. 1-1 game, 6th inning. And Ernie Witt up with 2 outs. And here's the pitch. It is a 7 and a 32. Tough 32. Just high. It's going to be a pop up to second base. That finishes the top of the 6th inning. Go to the bottom of the 6th. Clancy's still pitching strongly, as well as Darling. And here comes Wally Backman. Backman is 1 for 2 with a double and an RBI this game. 10 and a 45. 10 is ballpark. 45 is wheelhouse. He's got a small power. He's got a small home run chance here. He's 1-4. We'll see what happens. 89. That's going to be high. It's going to be ground out to short. Hey, Slashed. How's it going, buddy? Thanks for joining in. Got the World Series, baby. We got a 10 and the percentile 97. Ballpark 97. That's in play. The roll for in play for Hernandez is a 66, and that's going to be a fly out to left. Oops. Oh, what happened? What happened? 1 second. I didn't get a chance to write the. I forget what I said. What Backman did. Oh boy. I think he flied to. All right. He flies to left. All right. I just totally lost my place for a second. Here's Gary Carter, 2 outs. Clancy, 11 and a 70. Defense check. Toronto, we got an error check on the shortstop. Here's Tony Fernandez with a 5 rated shortstop, who's the best you can have in payoff pitch, and it's a 1-34 chance. It's a 43, so it's a ground ball to short, and that does it for the inning. And we go to the 7th, still 1-1. Darling is still on the mound. He's getting close to his pitch count, so we'll see if he lasts this inning. We have a 5 and 35. In play, 35, just high. It's going to be a pop up to first. Damaso Garcia 0 for 2 today. We got a 9 and 87. 9 is tough. 87 is going to be a ground out to short. And I think they're going to take out Clancy's going to. That's it for Clancy. He's pitched a great game. They're going to pinch hit someone in here for him. Even though he's 1 for 2. Let's see here. They're going to put in Rick Leach. Usually they're DH against righties, but since there's no DH, here he is with that bat against Darling. For 5 and a 48. 5 is tough. Oh, no, I'm sorry. 5 is in play. 48 is high. That's a ground ball to the pitcher, and that's going to do it. So go to the bottom of the seventh inning stretch. We have a new pitcher coming in, and that new pitcher is going to be Mark Eichhorn. Mark Eichhorn was one of the best relievers in baseball this season, and I'll have his stats in 1 minute. He pitched 124 innings in the regular season with a 1.88 ERA. And in the last series, he pitched 8.2 innings with a 1.04 ERA. So doing very well. Hopefully he can shut down the Mets for a couple innings that Toronto was hoping. Here's Darryl Strawberry. We have a 3 and a 62. 3 is tough. 62 is a strikeout. Just missed a double, actually. 63 would have been a double. So here comes Willie Wilson. We got a 6 and an 88. 6 is tough. 88 is high. That's going to be a ground ball to short. And Ray Knight, he is now 0 for 2, and here's the pitch. 11 and a 12. 11 is tough. 12 is a strikeout. So Eichhorn comes in and does the job for the 7th inning. We go to the top of the 8th. Ron Darling still on the mound. Actually, he's going to be coming out. He's at his pitch limit. And they're going to bring in Roger McDowell. Try to hold it down. Let's get his card. Roger McDowell. He pitched 4 innings last series and gave up no runs, actually, and just struck out 1, walked 3. So hopefully they can have him shut down Toronto here. 7 and a 98. 7 is in play. 98 is a fly out to right for Mosby. Top of the order. Then Fernandez is batting, the second batter of the lineup. Here's the pitch. 6 and a 27. 6 is patient. 27 is going to be down the right field line. Slap down there. He's going for 3, and he pulls into third with a stand-up triple. Tony Fernandez with a triple off of McDowell. And that brings up George Bell, who only needs a fly ball out to the outfield to score Fernandez, most likely. And here's the pitch. 6 and a 47. Roger McDowell. 6 is a patient. 47 is going to be a base hit. It's going to score Tony Fernandez. So George Bell with an RBI single, and Roger McDowell quickly lets the lead, gives up the lead, and it's now 2-1 Toronto with only 1 out in the top of the 8th. And Jesse Barfield's up, who has a home run this game. Here's the pitch. 6 and a 32. Another patient. 32 is a walk. So Roger McDowell's having all kinds of problems. And I think they're going to have a quick leash on him. And he's coming out. The lefty, Willie Upshaw, up. And Randy Myers is coming out. Hopefully he can. No, it's Randy Neiman. Sorry, that's the wrong guy. They don't want to use a Roscoe just yet. There's Randy Myers hoping he can get the lefty Willie Upshaw here. 3 and a 75. 3 is a tough. 75 is going to be a fly ball to center field. It's going to be out number 2. And here comes Ernie Witt. Toronto has a bevy of left-handed hitters. We have a 4 and an 82. 4 is a defense check. We have an error check on the shortstop. So Santana with a 4 error rating. 1 to 46. We have a 24 as an E6. It's a 1 base error, so the bases are loaded now for Rance Mulliniks. Rance Mulliniks is going to be called back. They're going to pinch hit, and they're going to have Garth Orge come in. And Garth Orge steps in against Randy Myers, and David Johnson's coming out of the dugout to make a pitching change to counter the Orge move. So they're going to come in with Doug Sisk, the right-hander. Doug Sisk was a valuable reliever for the Mets in the regular season. Service, 3.13 ERA, but he pitched 63 innings. And he's going to face Garth Orge here with the bases loaded and 2 outs. Chance to break this game open. late in the game. Here's the pitch. It's a 7 and a 16. 7 is tough. 16 is a strikeout, and that's the end of the inning. Doug Sis does the job, strikes out Garth Orge, and here comes, and we're just going to do the defensive alignment here, put Orge at third, and we're good. Mark Eichhorn's going to remain on the mound for the 8th inning, and Rafael Santana is going to be pinch hit for. And Howard Johnson grabs a bat and comes up to the plate. Hojo, the switch hitter. 0 for 3 in the series. Only, I think he had a few pinch hit appearances in the series. Hey, Jamie, how's it going, buddy? It is a good game indeed. All right, at bottom of the 8th, 2-1 game, and here comes the pitch from Mark Eichhorn to Hojo. 7 and a 77. 7 is tough. 77 against the right-hander is a base hit single for Howard Johnson. He's got a high single number. It goes to 83 on the tough box. So here he is. So Howard Johnson's on base, and Doug Sis is going to be pinch hit for. He's only going to pitch that one batter, and we're going to face Danny Heap. Danny Heap is coming out, left-hander, trying to get that run back. Got a runner at first. And the pitch from Eichhorn to Heap. We got a 7 and a 52. 7 is tough. 52 is just high, and it's going to be a ground ball to third. Double play check of both 7s, and that's going to be a 5-4-3 double play. Gets out of that situation, but we still have 2 outs. So there's still chance for but there's 2 outs. The runner is erased, and here comes Lenny Dykstra. So Eichhorn gets a great, much needed ground ball there. It's a 7 and a 76. 7 is tough. 76 is also a fly ball. It's a fly ball to center, and that does it for the inning. So we go to the top of the 9th, and we got a new pitcher on. And it is going to be Rick Aguilera. And shortstop, it's going to be Howard. It's only a 1, but actually, 1 second. We're going to put in Kevin Elster is going to play short. Better defensive shortstop than Howard Johnson. All right, so we got Aguilera. Let me get his card. Where is he? There he is. And he is going to relieve Doug Sisk, and here comes Damaso Garcia. Garcia, sneaky good in the first round, 292, 7 clutch hits with an RBI. Here we go. And we have a 7 and a 49. 7 is tough. 49 is going to be a ground ball back to the pitcher, out number 1. And Eichhorn's going to take a seat, and we have another pinch hitter. And we have the left. Manny Lee's the only switch hitter. Kelly Gruber's going to come on as righty against righty. We got Kelly Gruber's yet to make a playoff appearance for the Blue Jays. So here's his first appearance. And he might have, it's a second appearance. He might have came in for defensive purposes. And here's the pitch to Gruber from Aguilera. We got a 5 and a 31. 5 is ballpark. 31 is wheelhouse. Kelly Gruber has a chance he's got an 89. That's going to be too high, and that's going to be a ground ball to short. He had a 1-43 chance for a home run, but couldn't do it. He just missed that pitch right down the pipe. Here comes Lloyd Mosby. 7 and a 24. 7 is tough. 24 struck him out. And that is the inning. So we have a new pitcher, Tom Henke, coming in to close out the game. Pitched the 9th inning against the Mets. Where is he? Tom Henke. He's going to face Backman, Hernandez, and Carter, the heart of the order. Here we go. 7 and a 51. 7 is 51. Tough 51 is going to be a ground ball back to the first baseman. He's going to flip to the pitcher covering. It's 1 out. Here's Keith Hernandez. The lefty needs someone on base here. 8 and a 75. 8 is tough. 75 is high. That's a fly ball to center. And Gary Carter comes down. It'll be the last hope. Salvage game 1. A veritable pitcher's duel here. Here's the pitch. We have an 8 and a 92. Tough 92. It's a fly ball. Playable for George Bell in left field. He comes down with it. And game 1 is over, folks. Toronto beats New York at Shea Stadium 2-1. So that does it for game number 1. Very good game. And let's see here. Let me save that. Look at the box score. 2-1. A pitcher's duel here. 6 hits, 2 runs, 6 hits for the Blue Jays. 1 run, 5 hits, and 2 errors for the Mets. 2 for 4 for Ernie Witt. Everybody else had 1. A big hit. The big fly was the Jesse Barfield home run, his 3rd of the playoffs. Tony Fernandez hit a triple and scored a run. And for the Mets, just a few smatterings of hits here. Wally Backman had an RBI double. And Jim Clancy at no decision, but he pitched well. Only one earned run in 6 innings. Mark Eichhorn with the win gets 2 innings of scoreless pitching, and Tom Henke gets his 2nd save of the playoffs. And Roger McDowell is saddled with the loss, 1-1. And that does it. The player of the game is Jesse Barfield. Hey, Dwayne, thanks for joining, pal. And we're going to get the lineups ready for game 2. Again at Shea Stadium. So bear with me for a few moments. I think they're going to be very similar. Let me check my pitchers thing here. We got this game 2 is going to be Jimmy Key versus Dwight Gooden. This should be a dandy. All right, let's get the pitchers set up here. Let's see, Jimmy Key, Dwight Gooden. Another pitcher's duel, possibly. So Toronto's going to have the same lineup. Wait, well, I'm sure with Orange. Not Orange, they have Mullenix. Why change things up, right? You get to win the first game. And the Mets are going to go with, let me just find my sheet here. Lefty. Okay, so I'm just going to take their lineup versus lefties against Houston. So the Mets are going to go with Mookie Wilson leading off in center field. Kevin Mitchell is going to play left field. Where is he? There he is. Keith Hernandez, Gary Carter, Darryl Strawberry is 3, 4, and 5 hitters. Ray Knight, Tim Tuffles, and they're going to make the play. Tim Tuffles going to get in the game playing second base. And Rafael Santana still playing shortstop. All right, and then pitching cards, ladies and gentlemen, 3 and 3. Same as for pitchers, we have the same cards as the last game. Right now, I got to set it up. Now I got the cards ready. Now I have to do the lineups here. So, all right, just do what I did last time. Mosby, sorry about this. Mosby, Fernandez, Bell, Barfield, Upshaw, Witt, Mullenix, and Garcia. And Key for the Mets, as we just mentioned. Mookie Wilson leading off in center field. And we have Kevin Mitchell batting second, playing left field. And we have Hernandez, Carter, and Strawberry. 3, 4, 5. And then we have Knight, Tuffle, and Santana. Tim Tuffle. Oops. All right. And Doc Gooden. I think we're ready to go here for game number 2. Everybody ready for game 2? All right. You got MV rooting for the Mets. I'm not really rooting for anybody. I mean, it would be nice to see if Toronto can pull it off. But whoever wins deserves it. That's the way I look at it. They both had excellent seasons. They were probably the 2 best teams in the league. So it's fun, nice that they play each other. So here we go. Doc Gooden versus Lloyd Mosby to lead off the game number 2. We got a 5 and a 78. 5 is ballpark. 78 is going to be in play. 1 to 27 is a single, and it's a 7. So it's a base hit for Lloyd Mosby right off the bat. And he's got a 9. That's not going to be, can't steal there. So Tony Fernandez steps to the plate. 9 and a 74. 9 is in play. 74 is going to be a ground ball to second, and he's only going to be able to get the runner at second. It's a force out at second. Fielder's choice. 1 out. George Bell to face Doc Gooden. 9 and a 68. So 9 is in play. A 68 is going to be a ground ball to second, and again, force out at second. They can't get the double play. Jesse Barfield comes up. 8 and a 53. 8 is a tough out. 53 is a strikeout. So a tough out in the car on a pitcher's card means that everything is an out no matter what. So you get, if it's a strikeout, you get the strikeout. But if it's say it's a double in the tough column or a triple in the tough column, he's still out. You have to read his number, whatever the percentile die you read in the out section. So it's a very good. It's just a sign of a very good pitcher if they have one of those. So it's just an automatic out almost. It is. It's not even almost. So okay. Excuse me. We got Mookie Wilson leading off the bottom of the first against Jimmy Key. Jimmy Key, 2-1 in the playoffs, 19 in the third innings, 2.33 ERA, and he was 21-10 in the regular season. So Jimmy Key throws a 4 and a 73. 4 is ballpark. 73 is in play. Mookie Wilson against the lefty gets a 26. That's a base hit. So the leadoff runner's on for the Mets. 4, and that's actually going to be, he's going to try to steal here. He's a B stealer against a 2-arm. A B2 is a normal chance, and flip the card. Normal is safe. So Mookie Wilson steals first base. I mean, second base, sorry. So you got Kevin Mitchell up. I'm not dropping dice everywhere. Sorry. All right. Pitch to Kevin Mitchell, 8 and an 84. 8 is a tough out. 84 is a ground ball to second, and that's going to get the runner to third. So it's a nice play, nice hit by Kevin Mitchell, nice directional hitting, just making sure the runner can get moved over. Runner at third, 1 out. Keith Hernandez up. You got a 4 and a 13. Ballpark, 13 is a wheelhouse against the lefty. Keith Hernandez, 1 to 18 is a home run. It's a 9. See you later, Keith Hernandez. It's a 2-run home run in the bottom of the first inning to give the Mets a 2-0 lead against the Blue Jays. And Gary Carter is going to come up now with 1 out. It's Keith Hernandez. It's his first home run, I believe, in the playoffs. Gary Carter is going to get a 10-13. In play 13. That's a base hit. So the Mets have come out swinging against Jimmy Key. This is the ace of the Blue Jays staff. And already some bullpen action in the playoffs. It's always happening. It's always a quick leash. So we'll see what happens. There's some guys stirring around the bullpen already. There's a 9 and an 81. 9 is tough. 81 is a strikeout. Darryl Strawberry strikes out. 2 outs, and Ray Knight's up. We got a 5 and a 6. 5 is in play. A 6 is a double. We'll see what happens here. It's a double, and Gary Carter goes to third base. So we got second and third, 2 outs, and Tim Tuffle, who's 1 for 5 in the playoffs. He's got a 9 and a 69. 9 is tough. 69 is going to be a ground ball to second. That's going to do it for the inning. But they have 2 runs on the 2-run home run by Keith Hernandez. And after 1, it's 2-0 Mets. And here comes Dwight Gooden to face Willie Upshaw. Willie Upshaw, the 10 and a 51. 10 is in play. 51 is high. It's going to be a ground ball to third. Next is Ernie Witt, 7 and a 65. 7 is tough. 65 is going to be a ground ball to third. So there's 2 quick outs. And Rance Mulliniks, 1 for 21 in the series, 0.48 average, just not producing offensively for the Blue Jays, and he's got a 7 and a 54, tough 54. That's not going to do it. It's going to be a ground ball to third. That's the end of the inning. So the Mets are up with Rafael Santana, Dwight Gooden, and Mookie Wilson this inning. Give a 4 and a 76. 4 is ballpark. 76 is in play. Santana, 1 to 33 is a hit. It's a 90, so 90 is a ground ball to short. And here's Doc Gooden, 0 for 4 in the playoffs. He's got a 6 and a 13. 6 is patient, 13 is a walk, so Doc Gooden takes a walk. And here comes Mookie Wilson. Jimmy Key, a little bit erratic here. 8 and a 43. 8 is in play. 43 is too high. It's a pop up to third. There's 2 out. There's Kevin Mitchell, 0 for 1 with a strategic ground out to second. And it's a 5 and a 90. 5 is in play. 90 is going to be a ground out to short this time. And that does it for the inning. We go to the third. 2-0 Mets. Damaso Garcia, 5 and an 83. Ballpark. 83 is in play. 1 to 34. To 28, so it's a base hit for Garcia. He's on base, leadoff hitter. And that's going to bring up Jimmy Key, making his first at bat, and he's going to go for the sacrifice. He puts the bunt down, and it's a successful sacrifice. The catcher plays it, throws to first for the out. All right, so we got 1 out and runner at second. We got a 9 and a 96. 9 is in play. 96 is a fly out to right. Damaso Garcia is going to take third on the fly out as a deep fly. And there's 2 outs. Runner at third is Tony Fernandez. Batting .324 in the series. 7 and 87. 7 is tough. 87 is going to be too high. It's going to be a ground out to short, and that does it. Bottom of the third. Hernandez, Carter, and Strawberry. Hernandez with the home run. I'm sorry, that was the second home run of the playoffs. I thought it was his first. 2-run homer back in the first inning. And here we go. It's a 3 and a 7. 3 is tough. 7 strikes him out this time. So Jimmy Key wins that battle this time. Here's Gary Carter. 7 and a 57. 7 is tough. 57 is going to be a fly out to right. And Darryl Strawberry. 8 and an 84. 8 is in play. 84 is high. It's a ground out to second. And here's the pitch to George Bell, leading off the top of the fourth. Dwight Gooden rocks and fires is a 6 and a 63. 6 is tough. 63 is going to be a fly out to right. Jesse Barfield. 3 and an 84. 3 is patient. 84 is high, though. It's going to be a ground out to short. So that the meat of the order is getting taken care of. And here's Willie Upshaw. Upshaw is only batting 188. He's 6 for 32 in the playoffs. And he's 2 and a 99. 2 is a defense check, so the 99 is irrelevant. We got an error check on the pitcher. The pitcher error rating is a 3. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, he's a 3. So it's a 1 to 56 chance for an error, and it's a 62, and that's going to be makes the play, ground out to the pitcher. That does it. Out number 3. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Ray Knight. Lead off. Ray Knight's 1 for 1 with a double. 6 and an 85. Patient 85. It's going to be too high. Ground out to short. Tim Tuffle 0 for 1. He's got a 5 and a 98. 5 is in play. 98 is a fly out to left. And his Santana 0 for 1 today. 9 and a 45. 9 is tough. 45 just misses a base hit as it is a ground ball back to the pitcher. Jimmy Key stabbed it. It should have been, if it got by Key, it was going to be a hit, but Jimmy Key stabbed it and made the play. Top of the 5th inning, still 2-0. We have an 8 and a 34. 8 is a tough out. 34 is going to be a pop up to second. So the 8s are going to be automatic outs here. We have a 6 and a 5. 6 is tough. A strikeout for Gooden. So Gooden's on his game right now. Here's Garcia, who's 1 for 1 with a single. A 4 and an 87. Patient 87. That's going to be a ground out to short, and that does it for so quick. This game is moving along quickly. And Dwight Gooden's going to get to the bat. And here's the pitch from Key. 7 and a 3. 7 is tough. 3 is a strikeout. I'm sorry, Gooden. Yeah, to the bat. Yeah, against Key. So here comes pitch to Mookie Wilson's a 6 and a 52. Patient 52. That's going to be a base hit for Mookie Wilson. And it's going to be too high to try to steal. So he's going to stay at first. And here's Kevin Mitchell. 7 and a 63. 7 is tough. 63 is going to be a fly ball to right. And here's Keith Hernandez. 1 for 2 with a home run. We have 9 and a 69. Tough 69. It's going to be a ground ball to short. The short throw to second for the out. Retires the side. We go to the top of the 6th. We got Jimmy Key leading off. He's going to stay in. 10 and a 25. 10 is in play. 25 is too high. It's going to be a ground ball back to the pitcher. Lloyd Mosby. And I dropped the dice. I have to go get it. Hold on 1 second. Sloppy die. And Mosby, the pitch finally comes in. 877. 8 is a tough out. 77 is a fly out to center. And we got Tony Fernandez. 0 for 2. 4 and a 74. 4 is patient. 74 is too high. It's a ground ball to second. That does it. 3 outs. So we go to the bottom of the 6th. Jimmy Key still in there. Jimmy Key probably should have came out in the last time, but this will probably be his last inning. But he's a 5 and a 57. 5 is in play. 57 is going to be a fly out to right. Darryl Strawberry, 6 and a 31. 6 is patient. 31 is a walk. And Ray Knight. 9 and an 81. 9 is tough. 81 is high. It's going to be a fly ball to center. Tim Tuffle comes to the plate. He's 0 for 2. 3 and an 88. 3 is tough. 88 is going to be a ground ball to short. And Key gets out of the inning. And the Blue Jays are running out of chances here to at least score a couple of runs. It's still 2-0. And here's George Bell, Jesse Barfield, and Billy Upshaw leading to do up this inning. Here's the pitch from Doc Gooden. 8 and a 92. 8 is a tough out. 92 is a ground ball to short. So there's out number 1. Got a 12 and a 7 defense check. Error check on the second baseman, Tim Tuffle, who's a 2 rated second baseman. So 1 to 63. It's a 71. He makes the play. So Tim Tuffle avoids the error. And Willie Upshaw is up. 7 and a 97. Tough 97. That's going to be a fly ball to right field. That does it for the top of the 7th. And Jimmy Key is going to new pitchers coming in. And Dennis Lamp is actually coming in to try to keep the game in check. Let's get his card. Dennis Lamp's pitched 4 innings. Gave up no earned runs in the playoffs so far. He's going to face Santana, Doc Gooden, and Mookie Wilson. 9 and a 94. 9 is a defense check. We have a range check on the left fielder, George Bell, who's a D range, 1/51 chance for a hit. It's a 94, so George Bell makes the play, gets to the ball, and makes out number 1. And Doc Gooden, who's going to stay in the game, got a 10 and a 66. 10 is a ballpark. 66 is in play, so it's only a 1 in 15 chance. 58, and it's going to be a ground ball to second. All right, Mookie Wilson. 9 and a 4. 9 is defense check. Range check on the right fielder this time. So Barfield has an A range, much different from George Bell. 1/25 chance for a hit. It's a 94. It's a fly ball to right, and that does it for the inning. And we have Dwight Gooden still in there in the top of the 8th. Only 80 pitches compared to his 115 limit. And here comes Ernie Witt, lead off. 3 and an 86. 3 is patient. 86 is high. It's a fly out to center. Everything. A lot of high rolls this game. Rance Mullenix, 1 for 23. They're going to call him back. And they're going to put in Rick Leach is their only left-handed bat besides Manny Lee, who's a switch hitter. Rick Leach is going to come in to try to hit and try to get on base. That just means Kelly Gruber's probably going to play third base. All right, so here's the pitch to Rick Leach. 10 and a 9. 10 from Dwight Gooden is an in play. 9 is a base hit for Rick Leach. Single for Rick Leach, and they haven't had a hit in a while. This is only their 3rd hit of the game. And here comes Damaso Garcia with 1 out. Runner at first. Got a 7 and an 87. 7 is tough. 87 is a ground ball. And that's the shortstop. And it's not going to be a double play. It's going to be a force out at second. And we have a new pinch hitter for the pitcher slot here. Cliff Johnson's going to come in. He's going to hit for Dennis Lamp. Doc Gooden's facing Cliff Johnson. Here's the pitch. 4 and a 38. 4 is patient. 38 is a walk. So a walk, a tying run gets on base for Lloyd Mosby. And the Mets bullpen is they have some people warming up right now. The pitching coach comes out to talk to Gooden. Gooden says he's good. So he's going to face Lloyd Mosby. Jamie loves Lamp. Here's the pitch. 9 and a 30. In play 30. It's just high. It's a pop up to short, and that does it for the inning. So Dwight Gooden gets out of the inning, and we have a new pitcher for the Blue Jays. We are going to have who do I bring in? Bill Caudle. Bill Caudle. He's coming in, and what else we got here? Kelly Gruber's coming in to play third. So Caudle faced Mitchell. Mitchell, Hernandez, and Carter. 7 and 18. 7 is patient. 18 is a walk. So Cottle, right off the bat, gets the leadoff hitter, and here's to walk, and here's 7 and an 8. Patient 8, that's a walk. So Cottle walks 2 guys right in a row. There's some big problems here. Gary Carter, another 7 and a 22. Bill Cottle walks the bases loaded, and he's out of there. Oh, my goodness. All right. So 3 walks, and he's gone. Now who are they going to bring in? Luis Aquino. This is now the Blue Jays seem to be in trouble in this game here. Bases loaded, nobody out on 3 straight walks, and here comes Luis Aquino making his first playoff appearance. Here's the Darryl Strawberry coming up. Here's the pitch. 5 and a 1. Ballpark, wheelhouse against the right-hander. This is not even going to, this is very likely. Let's see what happens. It's a 32. Darryl Strawberry takes this pitch, yanks it down the right field line deep into the stands for a grand slam home run. And this game is broken open, folks. Darryl Strawberry just takes advantage of the bullpen, and see you later, home run. Just like that, it's now 6-0, the Mets in the bottom of the 8th. Wow. That was quick, that turn. Things turned pretty quickly there. So we got a 9 and an 88. That's going to be a ground ball to short for out number 1. And Aquino pitches. It's a 3 and a 91. In play 91. That's a ground ball to short. And Santana, that's a 7 and a 39. Tough 39. That's going to be a pop up to first. So that does it. And there you go, top of the 9th. And Dwight Gooden's going to, well, he's going to stay in. He's still below his pitch count. They're going to leave him in there, save the bullpen. Tony Fernandez leading off. One second. Can you hear me okay? Yeah, I think my battery might be dying on my headset. So, all right. There we go. 12 and a 20, 11 and a 23. 11 is patient. 23 is going to be a double for Tony Fernandez. George Bell comes to the plate. 7 and a 13. 7 and 13 is a strikeout. Jesse Barfield gets to the plate. He's got an 8 and a 98. 8 is tough out. 98 is a fly out to left. And Willie Upshaw comes to the plate, and he's got an 8 and an 8. Tough out, strikeout. That does it for the game. Commanding performance by Dwight Gooden. A 6-0 shutout victory. 4 hits given up. And the New York Mets even up the series 1-1 going back to Toronto. So that does it for that game, folks. Let me look at the box score. One-time error for the Jays. Box score here. Blue Jays only mustered 4 hits. Nothing really much to speak of there. Double for Fernandez in the 9th, but that's about it. Of course, two big blasts for the Mets. We had Keith Hernandez with a 2-run shot and a grand slam home run by Darryl Strawberry, who hit his 4th home run. I'm sorry, his 4th RBI, but his first home run of the playoffs. So welcome to the playoffs, Darryl Strawberry. Key gets his 2nd loss. Again, only giving up 2 runs. Bill Cottle takes 3 earned runs, and that was he walked 3. And Dwight Gooden goes 2-1, goes to 2-1 with a shutout. Great, masterful game here. Player of the game, and so that's it for that game. It's now 1-1, and we're going back to Toronto. Most likely tomorrow, maybe later, but I need to charge up my headset. So I guess I don't have to move my cards. I just have to. That's the good thing. I don't have to move them. I can just leave them where they are and just do the lineups over again. I don't have to set up a different team. Thanks, everybody, for joining. I appreciate it. I'm going to be jumping on the Discord now, and we'll pick this up again maybe later, maybe in a little while if anybody's staying up late. But I'm so excited to get this World Series figure. I want to see who's going to win, so it's exciting. I'd like to get it done as soon as possible, and I can start planning on my 1987 season. Thanks a lot, guys. Talk to you soon.